Good morning, class. This is your geography book for 7th class by K.K. Maltier, S.R. Maltier, and A. Chaudhary. So, today we are going to start our first chapter, that is representation of geographical features. So, first of all, I am going to divide geography into two parts. First one is geo and second one is graphy. Okay, it means earth and graphy means study. So when we study, or you can say the study of earth, is known as geography. You have studied the same thing in class 6th, and again you are going to study in a detailed way about this chapter. Next is what are features. You can say the attributes, or you can say man-made and the natural features. Man-made, again the same which you have studied in 6th class. Man-made things are, you can say, like church, temple, mosque, hut. These are known as man-made. And natural features are mountains, plains, plateaus. So they are known as natural features. So we will discuss this thing in this chapter. Now we will discuss in a detailed way about this particular chapter. You have studied this thing that earth is spherical in shape, and when we change, or when we represent the curved surface of the earth into a flat surface, we have to draw maps. So again the same thing you will learn, and you have to learn the same definition, that is, a map is a representation of any area of the earth on a flat surface. Next thing is that you have to learn kinds of maps. You have studied the same in 6th class also. So let us just recall it, what you have studied in the 6th class. First is physical map, this one, then political map, and third one is thematic map. So basically, what does physical map show? It shows the natural features. Natural features are mountains, plains, and rivers. Then second is political map. So it shows boundaries of countries and states and the location of towns and cities. So you have to remember this one, that political map shows boundaries of countries and states, even the location of towns and cities. Third is thematic map. So thematic map shows weather condition, type of soil, types of vegetation, even the distribution of minerals and resources. So it basically shows the maps on a theme, or you can say on one topic. Next is what is a scale. So this one also you have studied in 6th class. Let us just recall this one again. A map is drawn to scale. You have to remember this word or this line, that a map is drawn to scale. Whenever we are going to draw any of the map, we use scale. And suppose, for example, you are going to take 100 kilometer. You want to consider two places which are 100 kilometer apart from each other. So if you are going to reduce it, then you can say that 1 centimeter on the map stands for 50 kilometer on the ground. So different maps have different scales, and you can choose the scale according to the size of the area. Then there are three types of scale. three ways of indicating the scale of a map. First one is by a statement, then second is by a graduated straight line, and third is by RF. RF is representative fraction. This one is important one. RF, you can say the ratio between the map distance and the ground distance. So you have to learn this definition, and these three are very important. By a statement means you can say in words whenever it is written in words, then by a graduated straight line, then third is by RF. They used to represent RF in, we can say, ratio, like it shows in map 1:10,000, 1:20,000, 1:50,000. It is usually shown in map like this. So again, if you want to find out the RF, how can you find out? The formula is given that map distance upon ground distance. Map distance upon ground distance. If it is given that 1 centimeter to 100 kilometer, if the scale they have given that 1 centimeter to 100 kilometer, it is given in statement. Okay, now you have to find out in the form of RF. So how can you find out? It means map distance they have given 1 centimeter and the ground distance they have given 100 kilometer. So you will write map distance 1 centimeter, ground distance 100 kilometer. Now what you have to do, you have to convert kilometer into centimeter. Okay, so you have to convert kilometer into centimeter. How can you convert it? You have to multiply 100,000 into 100, then you will get the RF. Okay, by this way you can find out the RF. Next is difference between small scale and large scale maps. This also you have studied in the 6th class. So again we are going to recall this one, the difference between small scale and large scale maps. Okay, so first of all let us consider a map. First one is representing 1 centimeter to 1 kilometer, and second one they are representing 1 centimeter to 100 kilometer. So which one will show you the greater details? Obviously the first one. You may be thinking the second one, but it is not. First one will show you more details. Why? Because it is only 1 kilometer. Means 1 kilometer they are showing to 1 centimeter, means they can show more details. And 100 kilometer means now they have to show few things. They have to skip more to show in 1 centimeter. So I hope you have understood by this line what does this mean. Second difference is that small scales are found in atlas book and they show larger areas of the earth. Then large scale maps it is found in tourist hand or in topo sheet. Then they show much smaller area over a large size of paper, and next is they show more features of a particular place. Okay, so you may have understood this thing that they show more features, this one. Then they show much smaller area over a large size of paper. Next is topographic map. Again this one is very important, as in last, or you can say in previous class you have studied the same definition, and again this one will come in your exam because this is very important one. A topographic map you can say is a large scale map showing both man-made and natural features is called topographic map. So you don't have to skip this line. Large scale map showing both man-made and natural features. Man-made means, you may be knowing about man-made. Man-made, I'll tell you the example, like a hut. So this is temple, church, mosque, they are the man-made. And natural features, you can say like hills, rivers, then this one, mountains. So they are known as natural features. When they show on a map, together they show on a map, on a large scale map, it is known as topographic maps. Now, measuring distance. If you want to find out the distance from one place to another, how can you find out? So, first example or first figure you just see in your book, that if you want to find out the distance between A and B across the bay. So, how can you find out? The first, there are different types or different methods by which you can measure it. First method is by ruler you can measure. So you can place your ruler on A and B, then you can mark on B. Later there are kilometers given downside. So you can place your ruler here and you can find out the answers. Like if in your ruler it is coming 3 centimeter, okay, and they have given downside 100 kilometer, okay, on the ground. So what you will do, you will multiply it by 100, so your answer will come 300 kilometer, okay. So in this way you have to find out the answer. Next is, how can you find out by a stiff paper or a piece of paper? First, what you have to do, you have to keep a paper on this A and B, and then you have to mark a dot on B where your paper is kept. Then you have to take that paper and you have to place it again on the bar graph which is showing downside, or you can say bar scale which is showing downside. So again your answers will come 300 kilometer. Now if you have to find out the distance, or you can say that if there is no straight line, and then you have to find out the length of the coast between A and B. So how can you find out? I'll tell you that also. So what you have to do, like in figure they are showing, in figure number 1, you have to again take a piece of paper or a stiff piece of paper, then you have to split the distance into parts and you have to place the paper as it is showing in the figure 1, and you have to just follow the mark, and then you have to, wherever the bends are coming, you have to just take your paper to that side in a straight way. Then you have to hold the paper down at the bend and you have to turn it so that the edges lie along the coast up to the next bend, okay. Next is, finally when you will reach to the mark edge of the paper, or you can say at B, then you can find the distance between first mark and the last mark as it is showing in third one. Then if you are going to find out by the thread, how can you find out? Now next is, how can you find out the length by a thread, or you can say when you have to find out the distance through thread. So this is again the next method how to find out the length from A and B. You have to place the thread like it is showing in figure 1, this one. In the same way you have to keep the thread like this, and when at the end you have to mark at the thread. Now what you have to do, you have to place your thread here as they are showing this side. So your answer will come and you will find out the distance between A and B. In this way you can find out by using thread. Next is directions. Again the same, you have studied the directions in 6th class also. Let us just recall them again. First of all, what are 4 cardinal points of the compass? So they are east, west, north and south. Then what are the intermediate directions? Intermediate directions are known as the directions which comes in between of the 2 directions, like northeast, northwest, then southeast and southwest. So they are the intermediate direction. Okay, then if in case no direction is given, what you will do? You have to take the upper part as north. Then if you will get to know that the upper part is considered as north, then you will obviously you can just find out the downside portion, that is south part, then left and right side respectively. Next is, what is a grid? So again this one is very important. You have not studied this one in 6th class, so you have to study this one in a detailed way so that in higher classes you will not get confused. Okay, so what is a grid? First of all, you have to learn this definition, that grid is a net of lines that form cells like a graph paper. How? So this is a, you can say, net of lines. They are net of lines and they are forming a cell. This is known as cell. So they are forming a cell like a graph paper which you are using in mathematics. So again I am telling you that a grid is a net of lines that form a cell. So this is a cell. And how can you find out the 4-figure grid reference from this grid? I'll tell you. First of all, you have to see that this is easting and this is northing. Okay, so you have to first of all learn what are easting. The vertical lines are drawn east to this point, or you can say the lines which are going to eastward direction is known as easting, and the lines which are moving towards northing, they are known as northing. Then numbers are already given, 40, 41, then 42, 43, here also 27, 28, 29, 30. Now if I'll ask you that you have to find out the 4-figure grid reference of x. So how can you find out? First of all, you have to check the self where x lies. So we can see that x lie here. First of all, we have to check this side. So this is 41. You will write first of all 41. Now you will check to this direction. So this is 28. So in this form you can find out the 4-figure grid reference of x. Now if I'll ask you that you have to find out the 4-figure grid reference of well. Well basically is in blue color. I am showing this one you in this color. So you have to find out the location, or you can see the 4-figure grid reference of well. So first of all you will find out the cell lie in this portion. Again you have to see this down portion and it is 42. Okay, so in this way you have to check 42 then 30. Okay, so in this way you have to find out the 4-figure grid reference. Again if I say that you have to find out the location of tree. Okay, or 4-figure grid reference of tree. So how you can find out? Again you have to check the cell, then you have to see this portion and you have to go to the upside, then this way. So your answer will come 42, 27. So this is 4-figure grid reference. And you have to remember that grid lines are always in red color. Okay, so the grid lines are always in red color. I hope this 4-figure grid reference is clear to all of you. Next topic is colors. So we will discuss colors in next class. And what you have to do at home, you have to find out the fill in the blanks and choose the correct option. And in next period or in next session we will discuss the answer of fill in the blanks and choose the correct options. Thank you all of you for attending the class.